mistakes are high at work, your tone matters. Grammarly's advanced tone suggestions.
Sorry about that, there were some ads, and I'm gonna fast forward this because I want to hear it on a different song. That feels good, I think. Hola! What is up? Welcome in. ¿Cómo está? Okay. I'm going to open some JumpStart packs. I have like half the box left to open, but I'll show you what I have so far. A secret. So I recorded my first ever podcast today. So if you have any questions about that, I'm happy to answer. I don't want to give too much away because obviously I want folks to listen to the first episode, but it is recorded. I checked the audio, I checked the video, and everything recorded nicely. Everything worked perfectly. I can hear everything. I just have to edit the audio and the video. I'm gonna release snippets of the video on YouTube, and I will release the entire audio on podcast everywhere that you can find podcasts. It is published on like 10 or so different sites. So yeah, it's called More Than Magic. I'm shocked that the name was not taken by anybody. So it is called More Than Magic, and it is going to talk about a lot of issues that get talked about really frequently in the gaming space and in the Magic the Gathering world, but there's no content created about it. So I was eager to talk about these topics, and I'm very, very, very fortunate that my first guests are incredible presences in the Magic the Gathering world. They're very well known, so I'm very, very, very lucky that they agreed to be on with me and that they were really passionate about the topic that I picked for them. So I'm really excited. So if you have some questions about that, I'm happy to answer while I'm opening. My desk is a little bit crowded right now because actually I wanted to have an improved camera for my podcast. So I'm actually using much better quality than my usual webcams. My usual webcams are just typical webcams that are like under $100, like Logitech. My overhead is a Logitech, and it I think was like $60 or $70 or $80. I probably bought it on sale. I linked it in my Amazon, so it's there. What's up, Tracy? Welcome in. And the camera I'm using right now for my face is a Sony ZV-1. It was gifted to me for my birthday, so it is it's a much pricier camera, and it is a very, very high quality streaming and recording and product camera. So I have it set up the way I had it set up for the podcast, which is why it's kind of like in the middle of my gaming table. It won't stay here, but I have to do some reorganizing of my stuff. So I haven't done that yet, but I will do that this weekend. An ETA for the podcast, I was actually hoping to edit them and release them pretty quickly, but several people have advised me, and I think it is wise advice, now looking back thinking about it. Several people have advised me that I should record several episodes and just have them banked before I start releasing them, so that if ever I fall behind on recording or editing, I already have episodes that are able to be released. So my initial ETA was like February 1st, or like the very beginning of February. I didn't want to go, I wanted to start the year doing the podcast and not like go too far into the year without any episodes. But I think that I'm going to heed that advice and try to record a few more episodes. I was hoping to record 2 today, but the schedule didn't work out for several guests. So I had 3 guests confirmed that I recorded with today, and 3 other guests that I was going to do a part 2 with. And there were some conflicts, so we pushed that to next week, hopefully. I haven't confirmed with everyone yet, but I'm hoping that next week I can finalize with those other 3 guests. And then hoping that sometime midweek I can record with other guests another topic. But yeah, I'm hoping to record a few episodes and bank them and start editing them, and then start releasing them once I have several saved away, and once I know that all the kinks are ironed out. So that's a pro and a con with like inviting big, high, well followed guests, right? The pro is that you look reputable, because you have really good guests. They can help spread the word about your podcast and your message and what your mission is and what you're hoping to accomplish, because their participation in it shows that they're supporting it, right? So it opens the opportunity for me to get a bigger following, because the guests that I have on are sharing their following, right? But hey Bobby, welcome in. But so those are pros, right? But the con is that it's my very first episode. So I'm doing everything completely by myself. I don't have funding, I don't have sponsorships. So I'm doing the recording, I'm doing the editing, I'm doing every aspect of it. And I don't have a lot of money. I don't have professional equipment. I have what I'm limited to. So the con is that having these great creators on as my first guests, their audience is probably used to their quality and they are already very well established and they can hire people to do editing and things like that where I can't. So I'm worried and concerned. Oh, thank you for the sub. Thanks so much. I'm worried and concerned that I won't please their audience because as an episode 1, I haven't fully ironed out the kinks, or maybe it's not going to look as professional or sound as professional as their audience is used to. So there's cons to having top creators on as your first guests, but I am trying not to put too much pressure on myself, and I'm trying to be realistic and hope that the listeners and the viewers understand that I am new to this and I'm doing the best I can, and it means a lot to me, so I'm not half-assing anything. I'm doing everything I can within the realm of my financial ability and my expertise. I think I'm asking all the right people what I can without taking advantage of them, like I want to pay my friends for their work. I don't want to get free labor out of anybody, but whenever I have a question about like tech or something like that, I think I have a few people in several realms that I can ask things to if they're like quick little things. But otherwise, I'm really excited. I think it was a good topic. I think I had amazing guests. I think that it's going to be really good and listenable. I'm not concerned about the podcast or the topic or like our performances. I'm not concerned about that at all. I think my only concern and worry is tech. Like going into today, I was really worried that it wouldn't record right, or it wouldn't save right, or the audio would cut out, or the camera would shut off, or the internet would go down. Like, every concern I had was really like tech related. And now that that's over, it's like a sigh of relief. I'm like, phew, okay, good. That's done and over. Everything worked. I know everything works. It's great. But now my concern is like, can I edit this? Is it going to look good? Do I have to add graphics? Like, am I equipped or knowledgeable for this? So I have a little bit of homework to do, and I want to make sure that I'm putting forward the best product. I think editing the first episode is going to be the most daunting, but once I've done it, I can just repeat the process for the other ones. And hopefully I find my niche and I can just crank them out easier once I've done it once, but the first time is always a worry, and I want to make sure that the finished product is really professional and beautiful and something that people can believe in and take seriously and aren't like, oh, this person didn't care or didn't take time, so yeah, feel free to ask me anything else while I go through these. I did play some of these packs. I did start opening up and playing the JumpStart packs as they should be played. These are the ones I've played with, and I got tempted and opened a couple packs but didn't play them. So I will show you what I have opened so far. Some of them are mixed up because I've played with them already, and excuse my busy, messy table because I have my camera in the middle where it shouldn't really be, but so I got multi-headed, I got insects, fiery, I got yucky stinking elves too. I got primates, elves, I did pull Isu the Abominable, but I took him out because I decided to build him as a deck. Think again. Landfall. Eek. And I think that's all I got here for this. Yeah. Yeah, the legend from the insect pack is really good. Shannibal, welcome in. The Juiciest is my podcast, which I recorded today. As far as like the Ask Me Anything. So I had some super amazing guests on. It's episode 1, so I'm super incredibly crazy fortunate to have the guests that I had for my first ever episode. And that is probably the juiciest for it. But I haven't for as far as my pulls, I haven't opened anything yet. These are ones I opened already and played with as like full JumpStart packs. I did get Kibo the monkey and Zask the insect and the Isu the Abominable, which I built a deck with, so he's like Isu himself is in a deck already. But these are the pulls that I got from packs I've already opened and played with. They're mixed up because they've already been played with. But I'll just go through them, and if anybody wants me to go back and show something again, I'm happy to. But Ogre Battlecaster. Lands. There's some stuff that I did see repeated, even though they weren't in like the same theme pack. So there's some stuff that like fits in multiple things. Reclamation Sage I see in a lot of decks. Benevolent Hydra. I'm gonna have to sort through these this week. Circuit Mender is useful. This is the Zask Skittering Swarmlord. I actually really liked it when I played it. I played it in a JumpStart pack. So it says it's a 5/5. You may play lands and cast insect spells from your graveyard. Whenever another insect you control dies, put it on the bottom of its owner's library and then mill 2 cards. So you're constantly putting cards in the graveyard, and then like whenever your stuff dies, it goes back in library basically. And then you can pay 2. Target insect gets +1/+0 and gains Death Touch until the end of turn. And the 2 can be paid with either black or green. So you can afford yourself black and green insects. I actually really like him, and I kind of want to build him as a deck. But aside from putting insects in it, I don't know what else I would put in it, and I haven't put much thought into it yet. You're working on a cowl, and then you're going to start some cute crochet bunnies. Aww. If you made them a little bit earlier, because it's just passed, it's the Year of the Rabbit for the Lunar Chinese New Year. And that would have been really cute for that too. Multi-purpose. I mean, I don't know how long they celebrate the Lunar New Year, if it's just like the day of like our New Year, but I started working on a new deck. I usually stream them, but it was very late and I didn't think anybody would be super watching or, you know, helping me at that time. I got a Corsair of Crufix in this JumpStart pack, so that's handy. Yeah, so the new deck is a mono blue deck, and I care about instants, sorceries, and drawing cards. So I started throwing everything into the deck that I could. Oh, a fairy formation. That's fun. I threw everything into the deck that made sense to be there. Rampaging Baloths. And I am now at like 250 cards, not including lands. And that's very on brand for me. I always like overstack and then I'm like, bug, you know, I have to cut down. And cutting down is not my strong suit. But I think I'm getting better at it. Dawn of Hope. This is good in a soldier deck. Monkey Cage. Yeah, so I'm going to, for sure, make cuts before I start, like, streaming about that deck. I'm gonna narrow it down as much as I obviously can, and then once I'm closer to making, like, more obvious, appropriate cuts, then I'll stream it. Valkyrie Harbinger, I have this in a couple things. I know it is a lot, but I went to, there's Kibo. Little baby, precious prince. And Elvish War Master. So far they've been okay, the pulls. So I went to Moxfield, and you know Moxfield has that that kind of function like Scryfall does, where you could hit the advanced and you can narrow down your search by like specific things you're looking for. So I just narrowed down the search to those specific things I was looking for, and I basically added like every card that qualified. So now I have to go back and optimize, right? So like I'm going to remove the redundancy, and like maybe if I have like 10 cards that do the same thing, which ones are the cheapest to do, or which ones are like cheapest in terms of mana value, but also like if I have 5 cards that do the same thing, which ones are cheaper for me to buy? You know, if they're doing the same thing, why am I going to buy the one that costs $20 when I could get one that costs $1, you know? So, I have to do some editing down of that kind of stuff, but I'll get there. And once I've edited down a little bit, then I'll start streaming about that deck. I'm excited about it though. I can't tell if it's gonna be gross or silly yet. I personally don't set out to build anything gross ever. I'm not like, ooh, yeah, this is gonna be so fucking nasty, because I want people to actually enjoy playing with me, and I don't really care about winning. Winning is a bonus to me. Like, winning is nice, but I don't build decks that have to win every time, because then people don't enjoy playing with you. So I'm not meaning for it to be overpowered. I'm meaning for it to be a well-oiled machine. I want it to function and rebuild fast if I have a board wipe. I want it to do what it does well, right? And so I want the instance, while it's mono blue, I'm gonna have counter spells in it. A lot of the instants and sorceries are gonna benefit me to propel the mechanism, as opposed to like just countering all your shit constantly, because that's annoying. I don't think it's fun to shut somebody else down and never see what their deck does. That to me is not an enjoyable game. That's not really even playing. I'm just playing solitaire if I never see what your deck does, because all I'm doing is shutting it down. So I don't know how it's gonna play yet, but I have to see. I'm gonna narrow down some stuff first. Oh yeah. There was an elf. These were the themes that came out so far. Landfall, Think Again, Elves, Primates, Fiery, Insects, and Multi-Headed. Now we have Raid. So yeah, there was an elf pack in there, but not all of it was elves. Some of it was Landfall, so I think there were some elves in there. Raid is Kari Zev, Skyship Raider. That's the legendary we got with that. Let me know if you want me to slow down, stop, read something, go back. I'm happy to do so. I have been playing this box truly, as you should, as a JumpStart box. Which is why these are all mixed up, because these were actually played. And now I'm actually opening the rest, because I haven't had a chance to play, and it's been killing me. I want to know what the hell else is in here. So I am just cracking the rest of the packs now. I will put them all into their own binder. Like, I'll make like a JumpStart 22 binder. So if I want to replay these as JumpStart, I can recreate the decks if I want to, but I will likely just use these cards in real decks, right? We have a Demons pack. We have Demon of Catastrophes, Cezanne, Perverter of Truth, Conductor of Cacophony, Disciple of Perdition, Demon's Disciple, Dreadhound, and then we have the commons. And then the next pack was Cruel. It's got a little rat on it, but it's called Cruel. Let's see. Dread Presence. Conductor of Cacophony again. Feast on the Fallen. Nested Ghoul. Talon of Pain. So you see, even though they're different themes, there are some cards that appear in multiple. So when you saw all the elves, they were probably dispersed between like 2 different packs. Even though one was an elf theme, there might have been some elves doubled from another pack. I found a way to build something gross or nasty, but also be something someone wants to play against. Very specifically, it was a 60-card deck that used elves to smooth out a 5-color deck that used powerful cards that didn't win games on their own. So my deck might drop a Blazing Archon one turn. It might drop a Karvek the Merciless the next. Not having any clue what would happen was fun. That does sound... I do like, you know, like the non-predictability. But I don't like elves. I feel like I'm the only one in the universe that doesn't like elves. But I do not like elves, and I don't like using them. I don't like playing against them. It's, I don't know, I have a weird aversion to them. Just like, I see them and I'm like, ugh. I don't know why. And I've never lost miserably to an elf deck or anything like that. It's just, I don't know. Every time I see like an elf deck, I'm like annoyed by it. I don't know why. Which is like, I just deal with it because it's part of the game, right? Like, there's nothing I could do about it. People love elves, so... And I thought I would love elves because I'm that kind of fantasy lover, you know? Like, I love, like, Lord of the Rings, and I love, like, unicorns and fantasy and woodland things and Ren Fair, and I love, like, elvish stuff and art and, like, fairies, and I thought for sure, I was like, when I started playing Magic, I was like, oh my god, there's elves, I'm gonna freaking love playing elves. And I like really dark gothic things, so I was like, oh, I'm gonna love playing swamps, I'm gonna love playing zombies, I'm gonna love playing vampires, like that's my thing, like old monsters and stuff like that. I was like, elves, monsters, vampires, and as it turns out, I really like playing angels, and like I like playing mono white. I have like 8 mono white decks now, so it's completely dichotomous. All the things that I thought I was gonna like are not at all my playstyle now. So believe me, I wanted to like elves. I just don't. Experimental is the next one. It's red. We have Ignite the Future. Mizzix. Let me know if I'm too loud because the microphone is all of a sudden very close to my face. So if I'm too loud, I'll turn it down. Young Pyromancer. Grotag, Night Runner. Seize the Storm. Lightning Axe. And the commons. This is fun art. Electric Revelation. In my whole play group, I was one of 2 that didn't like elves, and I was the reason for that. I ran Elf Ball until Exsanguinate came out. As far as tribes, I love some goblins. I've been meaning to build a goblin deck. I haven't yet, but I will. I've been meaning to build one. Red currently is my least played color. It used to be green because I was very anti-green for a long time. And then I was able to tolerate like Selesnya. So I have a couple Selesnya decks now. But I only have one deck that has any red in it. And it's a 4-color deck. It's everything but green. So when I was in my I hate green phase, this deck splashed in red. But it's my only deck with any red in it. So I'm looking at building right now a Boros deck because, you know, it's kind of like my baby steps into a color, right? Is like to leave white in it. So I think I'm building a Boros deck right now, and then maybe I'll do a goblin. I was thinking of doing a Purphoros goblin deck, but I feel like that's a kill on sight, and I kind of want to maybe make it a little more janky, so people aren't like, ugh, goblins, or ugh, Purphoros. You know, like I don't want to come to the table and already like have a reputation, and have people like gun for me just because of the card that's on the table. I think I want to build goblins in a way that's unexpected, and I don't know red well enough to do that, so I haven't figured that out yet, but I will. I will for sure. Commander doesn't allow this, but Modern and Kitchen Table would allow you to build some Golgari Reanimator Abomination. I mean, you could always rule 0 it if you have a playgroup of friends that you like. I obviously play with lots of creators, and I don't know very many people that wouldn't let me rule 0 something, but I want to play with as many people as possible, so I try not to create very many rule 0 decks, though I did think hard about making a Glimmer Baron deck as a rule 0, but somebody said I could make it a Pauper Commander, like a PEDH it counts as, so I don't know. I haven't done it yet, but maybe one day. This one's zombies. We were just talking about you, zombies. Endless Ranks of the Dead, Deadly Plot, Lord of the Accursed, Mire Triton, Graph Harvest, and the commons. Gnawing Zombie. He's kind of cute. I find a lot... This is so pretty. Cemetery recruitment. I find a lot of the commons are very usable, and people are quick to call commons bulk and just like kind of leave them, but I find them so usable. I should have really reapplied my lipstick before I came on stream. Hey, Adam. I was thinking of you last night, Adam, actually, because I was thinking of streaming late, and I was like, who would likely be watching? And I was like, Adam's always up late. I was like, Adam might be here. And then I ended up not streaming last night, and because I was too nervous about my podcast today, and I was making sure all the technology worked. So, yeah, I was up until 4 a.m., so I should have maybe streamed anyway, but, like, I just wanted to make sure that my mind was in prioritizing the technology and not having to, like, necessarily entertain or be distracted by answering chat and things like that. I wanted to make sure everything worked, and thankfully it did, so now today I can relax, and now I'm much more up for streaming. You stayed up till 8 a.m.? What the heck were you doing? Till 8 a.m. We got a white pack. Yay. It's nights. So let's see what's in here. The Circle of Loyalty. This looks important. Pretty cool. We have Balan, Wandering Knight, and it is the anime art. So that is fun. I'm trying to get it to, like, focus well. It tends to focus on, like, stuff in the background. Like, it's focusing... There it is. It's focusing on, like, this, you know? So. Yeah. Nice. I'm excited. Danitha. She's pretty cool. Quende. Sir Alan. I hear really good things about Sir Alan. A lot of people are building him. Hero's Blade. Aaron Miller is the artist, and he's very, very kind. I actually have a Hero's Blade artist proof that he signed for me in foil. I'm catching up on the chat, sorry. There's a Fortnite concert? Speaking of focusing on stuff in the background, who is that dragon in the middle of Starry Night? I'll move my stuff in a second so you can see this. Here's the commons. Ooh, jousting lance. That's fun. I don't know that it's a particular dragon, but this is a dragon shield mat. Oh no. The box is completely like falling apart. I'll move it over this way. So this is a Dragon Shield playmat. It's one of their new ones. So I don't know that it's any dragon in particular. It was just designed by Dragon Shield, but it is a beautiful, beautiful mat. It does have the stitching on the side. It's really thick and cushy and plush. And I am a Dragon Shield affiliate, so they gifted it to me. And they tend to send me every now and then their new product. So I got this playmat, which actually comes in its own tube. So when you buy the playmat, which is not often advertised, but when you buy the playmat, it comes in its own tube with like a lid on it and everything. So you're not just paying for the price of the playmat, but you're actually getting storage for it. And they also have the sleeves. And so in my link tree that you see scrolling through, I do get credit when you use my link to make a purchase on Dragon Shield for this or anything, any like custom sleeves, things like that. If you use my link, I basically get credit in the sense that they know that I sent you there, and I make commission off of those purchases, which is really nice. And they are a wonderful, wonderful company to work with. The folks that work with the content creators are incredibly kind, very, very, very good people. It probably helps that they're from like Denmark, and you know, I remember my first interaction with them was, wow, Denmark, isn't that like famous for having like the happiest people in the world? And he jokingly said that he thinks they were surpassed by Norway, and I was like, damn the narwhals. And I honestly think that interaction solely was what sold them on like giving me an affiliate ship. He like really was pleased with that interaction. So yeah, I'm really, really fortunate to be working with them because they're super, super awesome guys. And they make great product. I believe in their product, and I like solely use Dragon Shield sleeves unless I was gifted something or received something at a con. But as far as what I purchase, their sleeves are it for me. So yeah, I'm glad you asked. Thank you for asking. I know that was long-winded. I tend to like go on. I talk a lot in detail, but I am really passionate about them. So let me catch up on the chat. Grinding Overwatch. I've never played like any of those games. I do get free stuff. They thanks for asking. They ship me whenever they have like new product coming out. They don't ship me every single thing. Like for example, they also have the Valentine's Day set that came out, and I didn't get that, but I got the Christmas set. So I got like Santa Claus riding the dragon. I got that in the sleeves. I got the Starry Night dragon in the sleeves. And then they just came out with the Batman set, and I got like all 4 from the Batman set, which was Batman, Joker, Batgirl, and Catwoman. And they are stunning, stunning, beautiful sleeves. So, you know, periodically, like every other product, they'll send me samples, which is really, really, really nice. And they come from overseas. Like the box is marked from Europe. So I'm sure it's not cheap to ship, but they do send it. I'm going to catch up with the chat after this pack. Scrying is the next pack, which is great because I'm building an Elminster deck as well, and that Elminster cares about scrying. Kinesos, Priest of Thassa. Biblioplex Kraken, Cryptic Serpent, Perilous Voyage, Interpret the Signs, and we have the commons, starting with the Anime Preordain. So that's really pretty. I like that it's anime art, but they used a dark skin character. That's really interesting choice. I think that's super cool. You don't really see that a lot. And it is a Japanese artist, it seems, Ayuko. So that's pretty cool. Hey, thank you for following. Afro Yogi. Cool username. Welcome in. All right, let's catch up on this chat. It's nice to hear about Dragon Shield, since I've been needing to get new deck boxes since Wizards stopped packaging decks in them. And Rook doesn't seem to exist anymore. I've never used Rook, so I'm very unfamiliar with that. But yeah, Dragon Shield makes amazing product, and they're really, really fantastic to deal with. And if you are purchasing directly from them, feel free to use my affiliate link so they know I sent you. I will actually be running a giveaway with them very soon. I'm hoping to run the giveaway the weekend of MagicCon, so that is over President's Weekend. They have, Dragon Shield has a new app that is a card tracker. I could actually probably show it to you. I don't know how well you'll see it on my screen, but let me put the brightness up. So this is what it looks like. Ah, posture check, thank you. I have really bad posture, so especially when I'm streaming, so thank you. This is what it looks like. I haven't used it yet because I just got upgraded access to it. So you can inventory your cards, you can actually add your decks, you can sync lists from elsewhere or from here somewhere else, you can add a wish list of cards, you can ask for alerts for prices or things that have become available on sale, you can have a trade list and a sold list, so it keeps track of the cards you sold and how much you sold them for. There's also a page called Movers, and you can see the cards that have increased in value and by how much this week. And you can also look at top losers or cards that have decreased in value this week and by how much. So you know when it's a good time to buy. There's also Dragon Rider, which is their rewards program. So I have a Dragon Rider rewards program, and you can keep track of your purchases and what your rewards are, and you could trade those rewards in for sleeves or merch or other things. And then you have like Marketplace, Card Search, Web Shop, and I can, for example... Let's see. I haven't used it yet, so I just got it. I have to create a new folder, I guess. I'm just gonna call it blue. Add new card. Scan. Oh, it picked it up right away. I didn't even have to hold it up. So I'm scanning Jace. It'll tell me Jace, JumpStart. I could select English, French, German, whatever language the card is in. I'll say it's mint, and then I'll save it, and in my inventory it'll tell me what it's currently worth, right? So it's 33 cents, and the date that I scanned it as well. And then I can obviously delete, move it to another folder or whatever. So this is a new app. There's also a members only, like a paid subscription part of the app that gives you access to like other things that maybe the app is free and you can use a lot of these functions for free, but there are other like monetary functions that you can keep track of with a paid subscription, which I don't think is that much per month or per year or whatever it is. But as an affiliate, I have access to the paid subscription portion of the site, and I will be giving away 3 one-year memberships to have full access to the app. So I'll be doing that during MagicCon, and I'll be posting it on Twitter and stuff, and I'll be posting about it on my stream as well. So if anybody's interested in that app, please enter the giveaway, or download the app and start messing around with it. It is called let me look at the actual name of the app. Because when I go into like my main screen, it just says MTG, but that's not the name of the app. It's called MTG Scanner - Dragon Shields, and it looks like this. It's that's not it. It looks like this. It's like the little yellow background with a little magic card with the pips. So it's MTG Scanner Dragon Shield. So if you're interested, start downloading and messing around with the app, and if you think you might want the subscription portion of it, enter that giveaway. The next pack, which we saw a little spoiler for, is the Think Again pack, and we have Jace, Arcane Strategist. Spectral Sailor, Fairy Vandal, Serum Visions, Memorial to Genius, and the commons. Welcome in, everyone. Thank you, thank you. I'm cracking packs. We've got another scrying. I hope it's a different pack than the one we got before, but totally useful because I'm building Elminster, so I need scrying cards. I'm sorry that I'm so close because as I lean in, my camera's like right here. When I sit back in my chair, it makes much more sense. So I'm sorry that I keep like, but yeah, I hope it's tolerable. Scrying. We have Gin of Wishes, which wasn't in the other pack, so that's good. It's a different one. Knessos, which was in the other pack. Biblioplex Kraken was in there. Cryptic Serpent. A lot of these are duplicated, so that's a bummer, but... Anchor to the Ether. Condescend. And our Preordain again. Yeah, our commons. I guess it is probably like a pretty identical pack, huh? That's a bummer, because I don't need 2 of everything. I guess I've been fortunate that nothing else has been repeated. Like, why don't they ever repeat, like, the expensive cards that everybody wants, right? I do play... I haven't played other formats in paper yet. I did make a pauper deck, like a 60 card pauper deck. So I did make one. I haven't gotten to play it yet. And I want to learn other formats like Pioneer, because that's probably the format I'm the least familiar with. And I've been playing other formats on Arena to familiarize myself, but I haven't made anything in paper yet. Go to school. We have Baron, Tolarian, Archmage. Biblioplex Kraken, which seems to be in everything. Kazmina, which is the anime art. Dismiss. Overwhelmed Apprenticed. And then the commons. I'm not loving this portion of the playlist, so I'm gonna try to fast forward it a little bit because I feel like it feels a little warpy to me, like I'm not loving the sound. Hopefully this part's better. Adam, Pioneer's your favorite? Tell me something about Pioneer because I don't know anything about it. Defiant, there were no before times for me. I learned how to play Magic in April 2021. So this is officially my 2nd year playing Magic. I have not, sorry, I pulled on this cable. I have it on the charger. I have not ever played Magic at all before that. So I don't know. There's no before times for me. I've only been playing under 2 years. I knew what Magic was for many years. Like, I'd seen the cards before, but I had never played or knew how to play or knew anything about playing until very recently. You picked up on that? Why? Because I suck? I swear I have good decks. It's funny because I don't, I'm not a player who cares about the win. But I do win pretty frequently. I build well, I think. You know, like, and that's subjective. I build the way I want to play. I build what I like, you know? And in the YouTube videos that I've been in, I have not won those games, but like that I've aside from my own YouTube videos that I've posted, but the YouTube videos that I have guested in, I haven't won those games, and that's totally fine. That happens. Obviously, it's realistic. But I'll win one eventually. I am a very new player. I'm very green, and I will not pretend like I know a lot. I don't. There's a lot to learn still, and I think even people who've been playing for years have a lot to learn still. So, I think I'm doing pretty well considering how new I am. I think I've done a lot of learning in the short amount of time that that I've been playing. The number of builds I have, considering how short I've been playing, is extensive, and I think that I try to build a different deck every time. So I get to experience and understand different mechanics in the game by building them and playing them and bettering them. So I try not to build similar decks. So even though I have 8 mono white decks, none of them play the same. And none of them have like exactly the same cards in them. You know, like, yes, there are staples in each color, but if it doesn't make sense for that deck, they won't go in it, you know? It is my format choice is Commander first because that is what I learned on, and that seems to be what a lot of new players learn on because there's precons, you know? Like, so when people say I want to learn how to play Magic, it's like, well, here's a deck that's already built for you and ready to go. And here's how a deck kind of should look like in terms of like more or less this many instants, more or less this many sorceries, more or less, and that will change depending on what the deck does, but it kind of gives you a rubric for what decks might look and play like when you know nothing. It's really easy to teach somebody on Commander, and I think that's what happened when I walked into the LGS. I played at the LGS board games, and I was familiar with the LGS for other things, and I knew that they sold Magic product, but I didn't ever buy it. So I said, I want to learn how to play Magic, and they were like, okay, what format? And I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm like, I know zero. I don't know what you're talking about. What do you mean format? And they were like, oh, well, there's different ways to play it. And I'm like, isn't Magic Magic? Like, you have cards, there's one way to play it. And they're like, well, yeah, kind of. Like, you play it the same way, but there's different ways. And I'm like, the fuck are you talking about? And they're like, okay, listen. There's this one format, it's called Commander, and I think you should learn on that. And I'm like, listen, I know nothing, so I'm gonna trust you. And that was kind of how it started, you know? And I was like, well, how do I learn? And they were like, okay, well, we have Commander nights on these nights, and there's people there that will be more than happy to show you and help you. And I'm like, okay. So I just bought a bunch of Commander decks, because they were like, well, what color do you think you want to play? I'm like, I don't fucking know. And then they were like, all right, well, this color kind of does this, and this color kind of does that, and this color's known for this. Like, what style do you think sounds most like what you want to play, or what you think you'd like playing? And I thought I would really like playing red, and I think I bought like a red and blue Commander, and I like didn't like it. I didn't get it. I wasn't grasping it. Somebody gifted me the Lathril elf deck, and I didn't like it at all. I mean, I learned how to play on it, but I never got it going. It was too much to keep track of as a new player. There were too many pieces, and it was like dying too fast. I wasn't grasping it. And then I got the Silver Quill deck, which is the Orzhov deck. But I swapped the commander. Instead of using Brina, I used Felisa as the commander. And I just fell in love with that deck, and I played that deck every single day, multiple times a day, for like 4 months straight. And I just didn't want to upgrade it. I still to this day have not upgraded it, just for the nostalgia. I just want to keep it as is. I think it's perfect. And I love everything about it, and I've won so many games with it just as a precon. And there were people that I played with, and they were like, I can't believe I got beat by a precon. And I was like, sorry about it. You know, like, I got really good at it because I familiarized myself. Like, I could play that in my sleep, you know? And I've never learned a precon or loved a precon as much. So after that, I really became familiarized with the mechanics of the game, and I was able to build from there. My first build was a purposefully janky deck that my favorite animal is a narwhal, and I found out that there is in fact a narwhal magic card, so I was like, I want to build a deck that includes that. So I built this janky, has to be aquatic deck that only, I think it might be next to me actually, it only has aquatic themed cards in it. It is next to me, haha. So it doesn't have I don't even think it has a soul ring because soul ring doesn't have any water in it. So this is what's in it. Sorry, I'm taking out my tokens. My commander is Charix, the Raging Isle. And these are the cards in my deck. I'll just flip through. It's mostly cards I had on hand, or pulled, or were gifted to me by other people who knew I was building this deck. I've since upgraded the lands and stuff. Like the, rather, not like, I mean the basics. I've upgraded them for things, nicer lands I've pulled. There's my narwhal baby. So these are all cards that either were gifted to me or I pulled. I didn't buy anything in here that wasn't... Like, I didn't buy anything in here. I wasn't buying singles at the time. This was my first ever build. And I haven't changed it or upgraded it since building it. I probably could and should, but I kind of like that, you know, it stayed as is. I did buy one single for this deck, and it was Hull Breacher 3 days before it was banned. And so that kind of tainted buying singles for me for a while, because naive little me at the time, I had no concept of how much people were buying Magic cards for. And I was like, why would I ever want to buy a $20 card? These cards are pennies. Like, I could buy a pack for $5. And they're like, you know that people buy these cards for like hundreds and thousands of dollars. And I was like, I could never. And I mean, I still don't really. Like, I think the most I've ever spent on a card, I have spent upwards of $100 on artist proofs, but that goes to the artist. And I have spent about $80 or $90 on a single card, but I don't think I've yet to spend $100 plus on one card. I'm sure I will at some point, but I haven't gotten there yet. But yeah, the first single I ever bought was for this deck that I was building. So to give you an idea of when I was building this, I bought Hull Breacher for this 3 days before it was banned. So, and then I walked into the LGS the next week, like, just, and then my LGS owner was like, I'm so sorry. And I'm like, so yeah, but it's funny because I have since had many meetings and interactions with Sheldon Menery, who is on the Commander Rules Committee, who is in charge of, you know, deciding what gets banned. And I told him how traumatized I was buying singles when I bought Hull Breacher as my first single and it was banned days later. And he was like, what did you pay for it? I'll buy it off of you right now. And I was like, I wish I could sell it to you. I don't have it with me. Why? Because it's banned and I can't play it. I'm like, I would love to sell it to you for what I paid for it, but I don't have it because what's the point? Like, I left it at home. So, and to add insult to injury, I think I pulled like 2 or 3 more Hull Breachers, and I was like, son of a bitch. So now I just have like a bunch of useless Hull Breachers. But yeah, that was my first ever build. And it's a janky deck, but I love it. It functions pretty well. It probably functions like a precon, you know, because I didn't plan it to, I planned it around the commander's ability, and I didn't plan it competitively. I just wanted it to be all on theme. So it's fun. I'm happy with that being my first build. My second build became, everybody started asking me, what's your favorite color identity? And I said, I don't know. I haven't played everything. I don't know what color combination I like because I haven't played everything yet. And I said, do I have to be associated with a color identity? Can I build a colorless deck? And my LGS was like, yeah, you absolutely can. So I started looking at the legendaries that were colorless, and I decided, okay, well, I'm going to build a colorless deck. And I was determined. So I built a Traxos deck, and that has been optimized over time. And for a long time, I was really known for playing that deck. And it's due for an upgrade now because several sets have gone by since I've built him. So he's due for an upgrade, and he's seen some changes over time. But that became my pet deck, and I'm so pleased. It feels so me to like be like so defiant that I'm like not associated with the color, you know, like to be known for a colorless deck. Now I'm starting to be known for playing mono white decks, but the pet deck will always be Traxos. I have a lot of like Traxos merch around me. I actually met the artist of Traxos at MTG Summit, and I bought a Traxos print from him, and he signed it in the corner. And I got a foil artist proof of Traxos as well. I'm actually impressed that I got this home without creasing it too much. It's got a couple creases in it, but it's not too bad. I got... Ooh, this is my artist proof drawer. Yeah, I got a foil artist proof of Traxos, and he's also the artist for Daxos. So he made a joke that they're brothers because they're Traxos and Daxos. And yeah, that money went to the artist, which is nice. But I will swap this out eventually, my commander, for this one. And for a long time, I still have a bunch, so I will give them away. But for a long time, I had a fan edit. Somebody made an edit of me in a suit of armor riding Traxos with like a sword, and I turned them into stickers, and I would give them out at conventions. So yeah, that's my most known color identity. Now I've got to catch up on the chat because I'm really behind. I went on a tangent. I need to get the starter precon still. Narwhal is such a good card. It has won me so many games stupidly because it has pro red. It's just it's put in so much work for a 2/2. It's so silly, but I love it. I love that card. Yes, Hull Breacher. Total facepalm. Shan, I own a Blightsteel as well, and because I bought it for Traxos, but I don't think I spent that much on it, thankfully. It was a good card, good value. I do have an Achroma's Memorial as well. Any card that I have that I play with that's really expensive is a card that I like. If it's really expensive and it's like, you know, I've pulled it, like a Jeweled Lotus. I pulled a Jeweled Lotus, so like I play with it because I pulled it. I did not spend $100 on it. I just happened to pull it, you know. Same thing with like Meat Hook Massacre. I pulled one, so I played it. You know, it's I have a limit. There's certain cards that like I'm not willing to spend the money on, and I won't play $1,000 card if I don't actually have it, you know. Yeah, definitely get yourself a Taiga eventually. I think that's like a nice collection piece to have. It's a cool deck. I'm really happy with my colorless deck. The most expensive card I own, but it was gifted to me. It was a Christmas gift. So I didn't pay for this myself, but I was just gifted this past Christmas a moat. It has like a little like certificate of authenticity in the QR code, and it's gonna go in my Giada deck. So it says non-flying creatures cannot attack. So only creatures with flying can attack. And while that's very, very mean, I can't figure out any other deck to put it in. And why have a moat if I'm not going to put it in something? So it is going into Giada. And it is because I made a post on Twitter that said, you know, like if money wasn't an option and you could have a dream card, what card would it be? And I said mine would be moat. And you know, it was a lot of people were chatting and talking about what cards they would pick and things like that. And I thought nothing of it, and then for Christmas it appeared. I was gifted a moat. So it was kind of wild. I've never seen a moat in real life, so I've never played a game with a moat before, but I'm eager to. I forgot to put my tokens back in. Actually pulled a shark token, which I heard is like really coveted. They're like hard to come by. So that's cute. I'm happy for that. I have a Kraken. Even though I have a Kraken token, my friend drew me a Release the Kraken. I've been meaning to put Hullbreaker Horror in, but I haven't really fully decided. And then crabs and drakes. So, my tokens that belong in this deck. I feel like there was something else that I had on the side, but I can't find it now. Anywho. Fiery is the next one. We have Ogre Battlecaster, Chandra's Pyreling, Chandra's Spitfire, Dance with Devils, Coalborn Entity. Oh my gosh. And then the commons. For any Dirty Dancing fans, Hungry Flames. I had to do it. JumpStart 22 in 2023. Adam, we're doing the lift, okay? At MagicCon. We're doing the lift. Don't wuss out, okay? I'm just coming. I'm running to you. Alright, bet. Cycling. We've got a lot of red packs in this Jumpstart. Cycling. Iron Crag Pyromancer. Starstorm. Deemworthy. Mad Ratter. I am fun size, huh? Roofing Moloch. Reptilian Reflection. And the commons. But we do have an anime. Yeah. That is like one of the #1 things that people... I'm doing this at such an unflattering angle. I'm like... So I'm sorry. I keep like catching myself at this, like... I'm such a bad streamer. But thank you for being here anyway. It's like, why do you have this big expensive camera, Ron? Oh, to just extreme close up everybody, you know? Yeah, the biggest thing that people say to me at conventions when they meet me is like, oh, I thought you'd be taller. Or like, you know, why you're so small. You know, I'm like, I'm like, yeah, I don't know what to tell you. And they're like, well, your personality is 7 feet tall, so like I just expected you to be taller. And I, you know, whenever I ask people like that haven't met me yet, if I ask them like, you know, guess my height, guess how tall I am, people always overshoot by several inches at least. So it's always fun meeting people for the first time because their reactions are really like funny to hear. Yes, extreme close up. We're full Wayne's World here. Land destruction. I have yet to build a deck with land destruction. I have lands or I have lands that destroy other lands or something like that. I have something that destroys other lands, maybe, but I never use it. Mostly instead of destroying, I'd rather play Vesuva and copy whatever it is that I don't like, you know? And that has come in very handy. Like playing Vesuva and copying somebody else's like useful land or scary land. It has come in handy so many times. So, which reminds me, I have to put Vesuva in several more decks. Law, we have another white one. Arrest? Isamaru, the goodest boy. Michiko Kanda. This card slaps. For anybody who doesn't know this card, I'm going to read it. Whenever a source an opponent controls deals damage to you, that player sacrifices a permanent. So nobody wants to swing at you because if you let it go through, they have to sack something. So until they have like removal, this just protects you. It's not stacksy and it doesn't shut people down because people can still swing at other people, but it really protects you. So Michiko Kanda is a great card. Magnanimous Magistrate, Murder Investigation, Edifice of Authority, and the Commons. So I loves me some Michiko. Michiko. And I feel like I'm gonna put her in a bunch of stuff. So I like that she's in JumpStart and that I've opened a couple packs with her in it because I like her. Fave non-basics. I think we all hate Glacial Chasm. Or I do have a Dark Depths, but it's in my Isu deck. I only run it in Isu. Because it's a snow deck. I do have Scavenger Grounds and something. Probably Traxos. Traxos has the most fun lands because everything's colorless, so it doesn't care about, you know, like you can put all those fun lands in it. Field of Ruin. I feel like I have Field of Ruin in something, but I don't remember it being that gross, so maybe I'm doing it wrong. I'm like, maybe do I? I don't even remember. Another red one, but this one's treasure based. We have like 4 more to go. Gadrak? I don't know if I'm saying it right. The Crown Scourge. I do love dragons though. Blood Aspirant, Rapacious Dragon, Koldotha, Trove of Temptation, and the Commons. Ooh, Cold Vein Pick. Ah. Gotcha. I love that little raccoon. You likes to punchies? Oh, yay! I'm so excited about this pack. Hold on. I'm like, oh, hold on. It's coming. It's freaking cats. I just built an Ajani deck, and because I found the Kemba card in building the Ajani deck, I was like, well, if I'm building Cat Daddy, I have to build Cat Mommy. So, like, in the same week, I built an all Ajani deck, like, Super Friends deck, and then I built a mono white Kemba Ka Regent deck because why not, you know? So, and then in the same week, I also built Isu. So it was like a really crazy week of deck building for me. And now I'm going back to my like to-do list of decks that that have been on my list and I've neglected to build forever. So I'm going back in time now, finally. But cats! Ajani, Strength of the Pride. Ingenious Leonin, King of the Pride. Ajani's Pride Mate. Make a Stand. Trained Caracol. Leonin Snarecaster. We're into all the commons, so. I love these. These are so cute. Fun, 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 fun. 3 more packs. Cats! Wasn't that a cute one? Oh, good. I just said that I like... Dragons! Another freaking red. I feel like every other pack has been red. It's like telling me something, you know, because I'm like, I don't play that much red. And then it's like, let me give you every freaking red card ever in these JumpStart packs. We have Lathliss, Dragon Queen, Dragon's Horde, which is fantastic. I have this in my Joda deck because I made Joda the Unifier, all backgrounds, all legendary dragons. So I do have this in something. Dragon Lord's Servant, Dragon Speaker Shaman, Furnace Whelp, Dragon Mage, and the commons. What does Elvish Piper do? I know I can look it up, but I'm not going to just yet. This one is Wolves. Night Pack Ambusher. Mild-Mannered Librarian. Briar Pack Alpha. Wolf Willow Haven. Arlen, Voice of the Pack in the anime art. It's pretty. And then we have the commons. Ah, Ferocious Pup. He's so cute. I mean, totally ferocious. I'm terrified. Alright, last pack. What will it be? $10 says it's red. But all jokes aside, what do you think it's gonna be? I'm not gonna tell. Take a guess. What do you think? What color do you think this last pack is? Do JumpStart come in mixed colors? No, right? I think they're just like single color. Shan says blue. I'll wait and see if there's any other guesses. Yeah, probably not, right? I don't think so. I think JumpStart just comes in single color. All right, the color of the final pack is black. It is Boneyard. So we are at Oversold Cemetery, Ossuary Rats, Stitcher's Supplier, and it is the anime art. Revenant, Necrotic Wound, and then the commons. So that was my JumpStart box. I still didn't get the bunny. There's a couple commanders that were in JumpStart. Let me look them up. Like legendary creatures, JumpStart 22. I don't know if I got Lita, the mechanical engineer. I did get Isu, the abominable. I didn't get the rat, Ashcoat. I didn't get Auntie Blight. I don't think so. I got Kibo. I didn't get the good bunny Preston. I got Alondra. There's so many that came out that were really desirable, and they're very pricey. I got Zask. I don't think I got Rodolph either. Maybe I did. I did open a couple. I did open some boxes. One box prior to this. I got Kinesos. Yeah, I don't know that I have the full list here. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to check for the ones I'm missing, because there's some I'm missing for sure, and I don't have all of them. It's crazy to see how many times Spiral, Planar Chaos, and Future Sight cards get reprinted since that block just did whatever it wanted. Like, it broke the color pie and reprinted the Cheese Stands Alone from unglued to a standard set. I mean, I'm not mad at reprints. I guess, like, it bothers me when, like, you buy a card at a really high price and then they reprint it and it goes down. But from what I've seen, even though, like, things have been reprinted recently, I haven't seen a lot of value go down for those reprints, thankfully. So people are still retaining value for the things that they've spent a lot on. So yeah, I think reprints are great when you have the opportunity to pull them, as long as they still retain value, or they're reselling for you know, not. I'm not a seller. I don't. I open to collect and I pull to put in my decks. I don't even have a trade binder. I'm trying to put one together because there are cards that I have pulled that are great value that I know I'm not really going to get any use out of, and they're just chilling in my binders doing nothing. And so I'd rather trade them in for something that I can use in my decks. So I'm not a seller, but But I hate the idea of people spending, say, $100 on a card and then tomorrow it's worth $30. And it didn't retain that value that people spent their hard-earned money on. I think if somebody spent $100 on a card, they should be able to choose to be able to sell it for $100 later if they need to or want to, you know? So, that's really my standpoint. I personally I'm not looking to profit on anything because I don't really sell anything. The Time Spiral block was a crazy set, and I do feel like I have some Time Spiral, but my pulls from Time Spiral weren't great, which is sad. I wish I had better pulls from that. But alas. I think I'm going to go. I think this is all I've got for tonight. I wanted to unbox this. I'm going to have to sort through them and put them in a bind in my existing binder because I already started a JumpStart binder. $20 isn't too bad. I'm glad that you didn't go crazy, you know? Oh, thank you for being here. Have a good night. I'm gonna see if there's anybody to raid. I don't think I have anybody on that I know of. Is there anybody that you all suggest? Is there somebody I should raid that you know is on? Let me see. I need to change my lo-fi because it's starting to sound a little dissonant to me and I'm not loving it. I'm gonna raid somebody I don't know, so let's see if he's good. He is playing. It's That Villain J, and he is playing Arena, so I will send the raid over there. Let's see. I don't know why the lo-fi sounding so warped to me. So I apologize if it's like really uncomfortable. I'm gonna change it. I actually tried to attach a Spotify to it, like, you know, like a specific streamer Spotify, and it wasn't like auto playing, and I had to like manually control it, and there was just a lot happening there. So I went back to the lo-fi and I'm not loving it, so I'm sorry if it's a little wonky today, but it'll be improved next time. But thank you so much for all of you being here and for lingering and chatting, and I'm glad you enjoyed it. Please hang in there for the raid so that I can we can say hi to Jay, and I can send some folks over. Have a good night, everyone. Thanks so much for being here.
Oh, a girl named Ron is raiding with a party of 9. Welcome, a girl named Ron. Welcome, welcome, one and all. Welcome, welcome, big and tall. Welcome, welcome, short and thin.